You're live.
Oh no.
You're live. You're live, they say. You're live. You're live, by the way.
We are live.
You're live. You're live on Goat vs. Fish. Wow.
Goat. Fish. Goat. Fish. Goat. No. My ego has never been able to handle this versus. Choice in this versus. And that I have declared fish openly, honestly, and with a whole heart. And this is temporary, trust me. The man of the hour will be back. He is just temporarily here visiting me at my desperate request. So I'm just a pleb, okay? I'm just a little tiny worm in this versus. And I'm new to it, of course.
You're a fish. You are a fish, not a worm in the verses.
Well,
the fish.
But what do
fish
fish
consume the worm?
Yes, I was going to say, what do fish dine upon? You are what you eat.
You are a fish.
I'm a fish, so but I eat worm.
So you're saying worms are fish? Fish are known to eat other fish.
Fish are close. I think worms are closer to fish than goat.
Well, if the fish consumes the worm, is this by implication the fish is versusing the goat by consumption, or is it?
It very well could be. I want to. Yeah,
look at the power of goat versus fish. Wow.
Oh, goat versus fish has many toys.
Oh, the verses.
Many toys.
Oh, it can be goat versus fish in all verses.
Goat versus fish must give me the link to that versus.
It's a humble versus. It's a simple versus.
But I like that versus.
Yes, but you have to. But
so where shall we?
You have to speak to Bezor and beg them.
Bezor?
Yes, you know.
Yes.
The one that collects all the verses for themselves and then they go to space.
Yes.
But you can do it.
Okay, well, let me see if I can handle putting this verses together. Would you like to handle this? Yes. You handle your own verses. Yes.
Hello, goat versus fish.
Kaboomskis.
And then we can do as we wish.
Yes. Well,
We have wondered if
this works.
We have wondered if Tomat is goat or fish. We have wondered if Trump is goat or fish. And now you present this to goat versus fish.
Tomump.
Yes. Tomump. Tell us about this creature.
Tomat is the only thing that exists outside of the verses. He is first cause over the verses.
Oh, my verses. This was our suspicion of the pessimists all along. They welcome goat versus fish, and then they speak of Senor Tomat, and then you say that before goat versus fish, it was Senor Tomat. When goat versus fish is here to tell you that in the beginning there was goat versus fish.
Well, I believe that, but I think there was only goat versus fish because of the will of Tomat.
The will of Tomat. Well, goat versus fish does come from within each and every one of us. This is a true versus.
Then there is no verses, though.
Well, there's goat versus fish.
Well, yes, but not between. On this subject, there is no verses.
Between Senor Tomat and goat versus fish?
Yeah, I think it blends.
No, the fence sitter merely wishes they could versus with goat versus fish. It would be the dream of Senor Tomat to be in a true versus with goat versus fish, but it cannot be done until you choose goat or fish and participation in the mighty verses of goat versus fish. And look at this one. We have seen the one with this hair. It deceives you.
It does.
It is deceiving you all the verses.
But
before we thought that perhaps Tomat would won verses, choose goat or fish, but now we look at this. The deception, and they always want to build the fence. Build the fence. It's all about building fences so they can sit high on their fence and look down at all the goat and fish and say, you go on this side of the fence and be goat, and you go on that side of the fence and you be fish. And you versus, but we build a fence so they cannot even versus.
Right. So why should goat be fenced from fish and fenced from goat? Or fish from goat?
Goat versus fish says down with fences.
Down with fences. Yes. Up with
some fences try to be verseful to goat versus fish.
Do you like blintzes?
Blintzes.
That's a very tasty German pastry thing with a
Ziga gegen Fisch. Ziga gegen Fisch.
Feigen, Schlugen, Strugeldugel.
Goat and the fish. The Pennsylvania polka. Starting to versus the goat and the fish. The Pennsylvania polka. They're trying to choose, but they just don't know how. It's gonna itch your brain, yeah. not choosing goat or fish, yeah. And the fences of Pennsylvania. And then the fence sitter rows out, they say, of the land of the goat, and then it looks to see if it could see itself somehow.
Yes.
Yes, and some say it saw itself, and some say it didn't sit itself, but we think that you should, don't worry about seeing yourself or not seeing yourself, just choose goat or fish. And
Well,
get off the fence.
I didn't.
And then we can have 6 more weeks of goat versus fish. It's always going to be 6 more weeks of goat versus fish. What do you think, goat versus fish going to stop early? Please.
No, of course not. Well, the versus never stops, correct?
Hey, how are you guys? Welcome. King be doing it to goat versus fish. Welcome, Bade. Kelte to goat versus fish. Welcome. This message is held for review to goat versus fish. Welcome any who are here because you celebration this fish.
I am fish.
Paul's ego is here. Celebration for fish. And we have called this versus deep fat fried fish.
Ah.
It's deep fat fried fish.
Well, sure, yes.
Yes, it's deep fat fried fish.
Yes.
And it's goat versus fish versus Paul's ego. It's Paul's ego versus goat versus fish live on deep fat fried fish. Fried fish.
That's a mouthful, and only you could have handled that mouthful.
Yes, you don't
handle mouthfuls well.
You think you can say deep fat fried fish?
Deep fat fried fish, not 10 times faster.
Celebration. Hi, fish. Audrey Godard said hi. Hi. You can't DFF a goat. Oh, we think you could totally fry a goat.
We could fry.
You could deep fried a whole goat.
Deep down inside of the earth.
Deep fried goat. There are 2 goat. The TJ's a goat. TJ's declared goat.
TJ's declared goat.
Scotty is now goat.
Scotty, I'm the lone fish.
You are the fish. You bring the verses because you bring the verses.
Right, exactly.
The goat are fine goat. The goat are fine goat. We all love the goat.
The goat are wonderful goat.
But without the fish to versus the goat, what is it?
Right. So I bring the verses, but it
Yes,
is I will tell you, I suffer the slings and arrows of being the lone fish. I have no comfort of fellow fish.
No comfort of fellow fish.
My wife is fish. Or sorry,
Your wife is goat.
My wife is goat.
Your wife is goat. Yeah, so it is really wait a verses. Wait a verses. Are you goat or fish? Viking. Viking goat or fish.
Celebration.
This fish has been fish for a long verses. How long have you been a fish?
Many years now.
Many years of fish.
Many years of fish as well for me.
At least 4.
At least 4 or 5 for me as well.
4 years
Maybe
of
even
fish.
longer. I've been a fish since the verses in Los Angeles for Deep Fat Fried, the first one. I declared fish there. And I think that was 2018. So I've been a fish a long while. And yeah.
Celebration for fish.
Celebration. Thank you.
Celebration for fish.
Thank you.
Let's thank goat versus fish.
I didn't bring you the verses of I'm a fence sitter either.
You went fish.
I openly declared.
You went
Immediately
fish.
when presented the verses, I declared.
And you have said many verses that you feel at comfort in the sea.
Oh, I love the sea. Every time I go near the ocean, I feel like a better person a little bit, like that, like a smidge. Like I'm a scumbag when I'm not near the ocean, and I'm kind of like a sleazoid when I'm near the ocean.
So,
Yes.
know this about goat versus fish.
Yeah.
We have evidence.
Oh no.
We have evidence that Vosh has declared goat. This is a true versus.
Is this true?
Vosh, Fat Vosh, back in a million verses ago, declared goat to goat versus fish. We have the evidence.
We're talking fat ponytail, keloid
Greasy,
Vosh?
greasy Vosh.
Greasy Vosh.
Pink shirt Vosh. So
he's declared goat.
Has declared goat. It was quick verses. First they tried to avoid the question of goat versus fish with the donation, of course.
Really?
And then we atted them on the Twitterver and said, "Hey, Vosh didn't choose goat or fish with the fence."
Right.
And then they saw this, and then they said plainly, "I am goat versus fish." That's a declaration for goat.
That's a goat.
declaration
That's
for
a goat. Celebration.
And V of the Vosh is, we must say, it is like the V of the verses. Oh, it is like the V of the verses.
Vosh is very good at the verses. Very adept.
Vosh versus Paul's ego. Is it a true verses or is it a false verses?
I wish I had a V name. Vosh versus Victor in the verses of vindication.
Vindication. Well, we think there is much vindication for this fish.
Well, but
There's so much vindication for a fish. If goat will concede this, who is to say? But
Vosh the goat told this fish to manage his finances better.
oh, is that true? And did the fish heed the goat?
the fish was very, very mad at the goat for saying such an incisive and correct thing.
We think it was a bit below the fence.
It was
goat versus
a
fish.
bit, yeah.
But what do you expect from goat? This is why we love the goat.
Well, I mean, perhaps you love the goat. I have learned to fear the goat.
Well, we fear the goat. You
goat-
you fear that goat?
The goat hath horns.
The goat. Oh, what did the goat say? That he thought you were stupid or something?
the goat-
Such fanciness?
The goat called me fat,
Oh, my verses.
and the goat called me old.
Classic.
He said I was
Classic.
stuck in a. He said I was like a ghost that lives in a haunted house.
Ghost? That doesn't. That's can't even spell goat.
He said this fish was a ghost.
That you are a ghost.
That I'm not even alive anymore because I'm dead because I'm past my prime and I'm fat.
Is it a true versus? We ask
that
you.
I'm fat and dead and past my prime.
Well,
Yes,
why would
but-
goat versus fish ask some other creature when you are here speaking directly to goat
Sure,
versus fish?
you're
we
right.
can ask you.
You're right.
These verses.
You're right.
They may say many things about fish,
You're right. You're right.
but you are here and you are fish.
Yes.
Celebration for goat, even for Vosh. We do celebrate goat and fish. We celebrate choosing goat or fish.
Well, I am fish though, so do I
Yes.
have to celebrate goat?
You don't have to celebrate goat.
Well, I like some goats. I love my wife
so it
clearly,
depends on the goat.
but yes, certain goats they're gruff. Have you
They
heard
are gruff
this?
goat. We've heard Billy Goat's gruff.
Yes,
Classic
and I
verses.
believe now I know he hasn't declared such, but I believe Vosh to be a Billy Goat.
Like
gruff.
the stream and subscribe to Goat versus
Do
Fish.
it now, yes,
And tell everyone you know about Goat
and
versus
provide. Can Goat versus Fish take donations on this stream?
Fish. Oh no! If only there were 3,000 watch hours on the channel of Goat versus Fish.
Well, let's add a few of those hours so that Goat
So you
versus
watch
Fish
Goat
can
versus
receive
Fish,
tithings.
and you can rewatch this versus again and again. However, you can go to
The Poltergeist.
instantgram.com/goat versus fish.
yes.
You can Venmo at Goat versus Fish.
Yes.
It is yes, it's at Goat versus Fish. You say, "Oh, where to Venmo Goat versus Fish?" It's at Goat versus Fish. You can simply Venmo at Goat versus Fish. You can PayPal at Goat versus Fish. You
Yes.
can Cash App at Goat versus Fish.
Do you see this?
At Goat versus Fish.
Do you see this?
We have monetization. You just have to do a little extra verses.
Well,
You can patreon.com/Goat versus Fish.
I'll be dipped.
For five verse American dollars a month, you can receive the patch of Goat versus Fish.
Yes.
And the song goes like this. And if you are a goat, you can patch things up with fish. And if you are a fish, you can patch things up with goat, with a patch of Goat versus Fish. With a patch of Goat versus Fish. Stitch by stitch by stitch by stitch. It is Goat versus Fish. It is Goat versus Fish.
Wow. I love that. I love that.
It's Goat versus Fish. You can that you're really a metal punk.
What if
Say
Goat...
that you don't care about the mean fans. Goat
is
versus
true.
Fish. Rebellious Goat versus Fish. Counterculture icon Goat versus Fish.
What if I were to present the goat with this as a way to mend the fence?
To mend the fence? We heard that. We always hear that verses. We say, Putin is going to mend the fences with Medvedev. What's all this? The Demlicans should mend fences with the Republicans, they say.
They
They
are.
always
I've
speak
heard
of
this
mending
verses.
fences, but you look out at the verses, there
Yes.
doesn't seem to be. We cannot deny some fences are going up, but others are coming down. Those Goat and Fish, they're having a proper verses now.
They are now. Yes.
One may be meekly wishing and begging for mercy most of the verses, but the verses is happening.
Yes, the verses is happening in a big way. Yes, we agree there.
Yes, it's a big verses.
I was gonna ask what if I reached out to Goat and Goat slaps my fishy fin away?
Well, how do you feel about this?
This makes me feel angry at the goat,
Yes.
and it makes me feel sad that there could have been less verses between us, but now there's much more verses.
Well, you say slapped. Are you saying that you've been struck by Goat?
I'll give you
Because Goat versus Fish is not here to endorse a violence, but it has been known to happen in Goat versus Fish.
Well, Goat's like Billy Goat's gruff too. We'll get in that ass sometimes if you know the verses of
as
that.
long as you get your ass off the fence and choose Goat or Fish.
Right.
Ass.
So I would say,
As a matter of Goat versus Fish, if you look at this,
yes.
secret verses.
Don't show them.
No.
They have to get the patch.
What? It's against fenciness?
They must get the patch, I think.
Oh,
if
Goat
they wanna
versus
see
Fish
the
has a
secret verses.
great mystery we wish to ask of Fish.
Yes.
Yes, we may have to. You may not remember this verses, but we will speak in huddled verses.
Okay.
About this verses.
Okay.
So yes, Goat versus Fish. went to Las Vegas meetup.
Las Vegas, yes.
Yes, deep fried fish, deep pat fried Las
Yes.
Vegas meetup, goat versus fish, and we heard there was much conversation, and then some months later we recall that there was you were speaking of the meetup to one another on onion nuggets.
Yes.
And you were reminiscing about the verses.
Yes.
And then TJ said, oh, and then this one came up to speak to me and was complaining to me, and they asked, oh, is this guy like always just saying goat and fish all the time?
Yeah.
And then they said, well, yes, that's goat versus fish.
Yes.
And then but then TJ the goat said, oh, I cannot say what they then said next. I will send it to you privately. They said
You must
to you.
censor it. Could you
Yes,
censor
and then
it
they sent that. No, goat versus fish does not know what was said. TJ the goat sent a message to you and to Scotty to say this is what was said at the meetup at that versus. And then there was much laughing among all the goat and fish for the secret verses. And then Scotty said, "Oh, I'm definitely goat."
That is true.
So what is that secret verses? What happened on goat versus fish? Please, what was the secret verses that happened? That then Scotty chose goat. What did they say about goat versus fish?
I will tell you, because here the mind of Scotty is not a verses that I would do lightly. The Scotty likes to speak his own verses. Does that make sense? But
yes.
I will speculate. The speculation of how this secret verses, and I do remember the thing, but I'm giving you the best I can. Scotty's wife has declared fish.
Has declared fish.
No, I think she's declared goat.
Well,
I'm
this
sorry.
is a critical versus.
Yes, this is critical.
But the declaration has been made.
I believe she has declared goat.
Well, that would
and I believe that Scotty was influenced in his verses.
Well, we have heard those verses.
Yes, I think that he followed his loved one to the goat.
You hear that goat?
Yeah.
We know that one for all of its bold speak. We see it always kneels before one.
Yes.
Verses.
Yes.
Yeah, so goat because goat. We have seen this happen before. We have seen a fence-sitter become fish because fish.
Really?
Because they were going to be with a fish, and they said, for the fish, I will be fish with fish.
Yes.
And then they come together by the power of goat versus fish. We all come together by the power of goat versus fish.
Yes.
This goat and this fish, we thank goat versus fish, that you have come together, this goat and fish.
Well, goat and fish have brought us together today for the verses.
Yes. It is all thanks to goat versus fish. It's really a beautiful verses.
So it really is.
And goat versus fish in thanking goat versus fish, we appreciate ourselves so very much. Mm-hmm. The appreciation is given freely by goat versus fish.
Why do you think people get uncomfortable when goat versus fish talks about the verses of goat fish and the verses against fence sitting?
Well, first verse is, there are no people, there are only goat and fish. They may take offense at this, of
goat
course.
And fish, of course.
But most are curious about goat versus fish.
Yes.
And also the verses of goat versus fish versus the fence sitter is not a true verses, because the only true verses is goat versus fish. But as a matter of conversation, they speak of the verses between goat versus fish and the fence sitter, and we comprehension that they see a tension between goat versus fish and these pitiable creatures who sit on the fence choosing neither goat nor fish. But they are welcome to goat versus fish, and when we build the temple of goat versus fish in Encino, we're turning a garage into a congregation of goat versus fish, where you will be able to come, join in the services of goat versus fish.
I will come to the altar.
There will be sea and there will be land, and you can sit, but be sure to stand and not sit on the fence. And we'll sing about goat versus fish. Well, let's do a verses. Let's do a little verses.
Let's do a verses. Yes, let's do.
Let's do a verses. Let's suppose.
Yes.
Beware, there is caffeination within.
Yes, and I will refresh your caffeination if you desire.
We say this. Here's a sample service of goat versus fish.
Yes.
So we're in the service, and we say, and now, in the service of goat versus fish.
Yes.
We will ask the fence sitter if it is goat or fish, for this is how we spread the verses of goat versus fish.
Yes.
There are many fence sitters who are here with goat versus fish, with us now, even now. Here is one.
Tomat.
And goat versus fish puts this pitiable poor creature in your care.
Oh.
In your care, and you look in it. You look at it. You look it in the eye now.
Oh God.
Gaze into it. Yes, in meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And you ask it, are you goat or fish?
It's so powerful.
You ask the question. You can do this. We believe in fish. You can ask the one true question. We do not know what it will say. You just ask the question.
Are you goat or fish?
Oh, my verse. No, it's goat or fish. It's goat or fish.
Oh, I'm sorry. His eyes. I'm sorry.
Comprehension. Well, let's try.
You don't look at him. Don't look at him. Goat versus fish.
Well, let's try. Let's try Marlboro. Let's try this one.
Hey there, Marlboro, old friend. Are you goat or fish?
And now, you listen. I listen.
No, it worked.
We ask you now, what was said to you by Marlboro? What did they say?
Fence.
They said they were on the fence? Oh, no.
That's what I heard.
Those fence sticks will be the death of you, they say.
They will, yeah. That's why you're saying get off the fence, right?
But at least they have heard the one true question, and you have taken a verses to make a sincere communication.
I didn't know that you could do this with non-sentient objects.
Oh, everything can choose goat or fish. Everything is goat or fish.
This kazoo?
And perhaps we merely do not perceive its knowledge. That is why we ask, are you goat or fish? We listen.
Like a seashell.
We listen. We listen. And we share our verses with one another.
Yes.
Let us try this verses.
Okay.
Why do you sit on the fence? Has been doing it so long, cannot quit. Cannot quit sitting on the fence.
Well, it's tough.
We believe you can. We believe you can.
Some people have jumped
some
off
verses,
that
fence, it can feel comfortable at first, but you sit on it for long enough, it begins not to be so pleasant anymore.
This is true.
We believe in you.
True.
We believe in you. You just have to choose goat or fish.
Yes.
But you look at them, it is like a fence post.
It is when you hold it this way.
You smoke the fence, you burn down.
That's
fences.
right. Smoke them if you got some, baby.
But we like the native fence Americans. Yes. The natural verses.
Yes, the natural verses.
Yes, verse giving. We think 501c non-profit organization, religious affiliation, goat versus fish is in the future of the goat versus fish.
Really?
Oh yes. Then we say town hall debate, all gather. A priest, a rabbi, an imam, and goat versus fish walk into a verses, and then we have a conversation. And then the flying spaghetti monster says, "Oh, but what about me?"
What if violence breaks out?
And then Satan says, "But what about me?"
What if violence breaks out at this great versus?
Oh, goat versus fish does not endorse the violence. No, never.
I know, but what
we want strong, healthy goat and fish so that it can versus forever. We don't want goat and fish just obliterating other goat and fish, although it does make a spectacular versus to imagination.
It does, actually. It would be spectacular.
Yes. Exploding fish.
It would be amazing.
Judgment fence.
Has Trump declared goat or fish or fence?
Versus. We think there is. Well, they want to build the fence.
Yes.
They are enforcing the fence. This is enough for goat versus fish to denunciation President Trump out here on goat versus fish.
Well, sure, yes, absolutely.
Because first versus, we haven't heard them choose goat or fish, and they are always building fences, and they are putting ones in fences.
Yes.
And they are saying that for some verses, we're going to put our trust, we're going to put Verse America, we're going to trust the alligators with Verse America.
I've seen this.
When is an alligator even a goat or a fish?
I've seen this versus.
And we're just going to trust these fence creatures. We thought we were going to drain the swamp, not to send alligators into the verses of goat versus fish.
Well, they've built a fence in the swamp, is what they've done.
They think it will hold, but the fence is never stable enough.
The swamp
that's
will
what they do
consume
not
the
comprehend.
fence.
Oh.
And there will be celebration that day.
Don't want to be a fence American idiot. I'm not a part of your fence necked agenda.
I like it.
Now everybody sit on the fence, yeah. And sit along in the age of fence annoying ya. Welcome to a new kind of verses, one in which all of the goat and fishes are gonna be set up on the fence. Department of Defense in the street, but goat will blub and the fish will bleat until the fences come down. Are you goat or are you fish? Are you goat or are you fish?
Bravo.
Goat versus
Bravo,
fish.
goat versus fish.
But
Bravo.
it's also fish by fish, goat goat by goat. Gonna make this verses grow. All it takes is a fish and a goat and a place to ask around. Are you fish or are you goat? Fence sitters say they don't know. So we ask them, are you fish or a goat? Till the fence comes crumbling down.
Beautiful. What a beautiful verse.
They're all based on songs of goat versus fish, of course. They're all actually
Goat
inspired by goat versus fish.
Of course.
Every song you've ever heard is inspired by goat versus fish.
Of course.
What are some songs that you like? It's a question for a fish. What songs do you like?
Well, I like that song by Chris Christopherson, Sailing.
Sailing.
Sailing takes me away to a whole new verses. You remember that?
Well, it sounds like the Sea of the Fish. We like that.
Yeah.
Boat, goat on a boat kind of verses?
Yeah, goat on a boat is fresh, actually.
Oh, goat
I
on
wish
a
I was a
boat.
goat, because I'd be a rapper and I'd say goat on a boat.
Well, you can listen, once you turn on the verses, so once you turn on the fisheye lens, you could pretend to be goat.
That is
You
true.
could fish disguised as goat, infiltration goat.
Ah, ha, ha, ha.
But then some fish will say, oh, that fish is just playing the goat.
Oh, I find it
Just
distasteful.
playing the goat for verses?
I would find it distasteful if this fish was portraying goat, right?
Karmic says goat versus fish. Celebration for Karmic. Karmic is in the verses.
Karmic.
Karmic, do you miss goat versus fish? Are you expecting goat versus fish? If you need goat versus fish, just say that you need goat versus fish.
Say the magic words.
Say the verses.
The
But
Viking did wave at you.
this one knows the Viking well, we can say.
Uh-huh.
And this one. It's your neighbor. It's your neighbor, Paul. Hey.
Hello.
Hey. It's somewhere. We're somewhere.
What do you think of the verses? Oh, well, I don't know if you witnessed it.
Oh,
but-
you miss goat versus fish. But they say hello to you. They say hello to
Oh,
you.
very kind.
And
Hello.
Karmic is goat.
I wish you could have joined this verses in person. Maybe
Perhaps
someday.
next verses.
Yeah.
Perhaps next verses. What even is goat versus fish? Now we have heard this for goat.
This
versus fish.
verses is an old.
What
this is
even is goat versus fish?
Well, in the broadest sense, goat versus fish is all things. All things are goat. All things are fish, and the verses is eternal. That's how I understand it.
That's fair verses.
Okay.
It's a fair verses.
Okay.
It's very fair verses. A very fair versus a true versus.
Yes.
A true versus. We all need goat versus fish. We do all need goat versus fish.
Well,
we
yes.
want goat versus fish. We need goat versus fish.
We do.
But we believe in you. Remember, goat versus fish comes from within you, so you already have it.
This is true.
So, but we know we do need goat versus fish, but you do have goat versus fish.
What happens when a goat or a fish passes away while maintaining the fence?
They pass away while maintaining. What is
Well,
this
they
maintenance?
refuse to get down off of the fence.
So they're
their
on the
whole
fence
lives.
and they're maintaining the fence.
And they will never ever declare, and they pass on undeclared. Are they remembered as fence?
Well, they put up little fence posts when they die.
They do.
And because they say, "Oh, don't forget, I was here.
all in a row.
I was here.
Yeah.
I was part of goat versus fish." They wish you to remember.
They do.
But until they choose goat or fish, are they even really part of goat versus fish? They are. Everything is part of goat versus fish.
Yes.
But let us see. Yes, they.
Have you heard the verses that some people will cremate goat or fish and put
Cremation?
them
Oh,
and then
yes.
put them on the mantelpiece?
Oh yes. They said it with the they put the full power of the verses.
Yes, this is strange reverence of goat or fish.
Cremation, yes. But then they take the goat. Perhaps it's a goat.
Perhaps.
Perhaps it's a goat. Perhaps it's a goat named Donnie who loved bowling. And then they scatter the goat into the sea of the fish.
Oh.
So it's perpetuation, the verses of goat versus fish.
I see.
Yes.
Philosophically, it comes full circle.
Yes. And
Back to the goat and fish.
It always comes back to goat versus fish.
Yes.
But they ask goat versus fish, is there an after versus? Do I get another chance to choose goat or fish?
I think the answer is no, because I don't believe in an after verses. I believe you get one verses.
You get one verses. And if the verses and if you die and then the verses keep going, well then that's still your verses.
Yeah. Well,
That's
true.
still your verses.
Well, yeah, it's one contiguous
Perhaps
verses.
you will get to choose goat or fish. Goat versus fish will say this.
Yes.
When you are ready to choose goat or fish,
Yes.
goat versus fish will hear your declaration.
I have an interesting verses for
Even if
you.
it's your final verses. What is your final verses?
So if you whisper with your last breath,
Oh, yes.
you become fish.
Of course. Well, unless you're saying fish, like I versus you the whole verses. Fish? Wait, were they fish or were they goat? Oh.
Well, that's a declaration almost of goat.
They were just, the whole verses, they were just dreaming of sitting on their little fence and going down the snow.
Yeah.
Fence, bud.
Have you heard the verses of Reincarnation?
Again?
Yes, like you.
Reincarnation.
You go through
the carnation. We have heard of the carnation. It is called Versmerica. There are cars everywhere in the carnation of Versmerica.
This is true.
We have seen them.
We love cars in Versmerica.
Oh, they love them so.
Yes.
And they do have horns, and that's goat.
They do. That is goat.
And they have fins, and that's fish.
That is fish.
But they seem a bit fancy to goat versus.
But they glide like fish.
They fish tail.
They fish tail.
Carnations, reincarnations.
Reincarnation. So if I live a life, let's say that this verses is true, that when you live a life, at the end of it, you're reborn into a new life.
You reverse the same verses again?
No, a different verses.
Different verses.
But the same contiguous verses, but with a different body and mind, right? Like, so you get to start from baby verses.
But is it the same verses? Or is it in the new verses?
That's.
If you declared goat in your previous verses, are you still goat in the new verses, or do you get a verses to choose goat or fish again?
That is the question.
In the new verses.
That is the question.
Because you say, you become, but what are you?
Right.
Are you goat or are you fish? You wish to come back as many times as you wish? Okay. If you are there, we will ask you if you are goat or fish.
Fair.
And we should ask everyone if they are goat or fish.
So there wouldn't be any kind of schism that would be called if this were true hypothetically, and a goat died and then had a new verses. Started from baby, and then declared fish.
And then declared fish. Well, at any verses, we can always ask, are you goat or fish?
Yes. And it's I am fish.
Celebration or fish. And you may ask goat versus fish, well, can I choose goat? And if you ask this to goat versus fish, we will respond by asking you, are you goat or fish?
I see. Yes, I know. I remember this verses now.
Yes.
But this explains the verses as well. Yeah.
It is always the verses to ask, are you goat or are you fish?
Yeah.
So this has been a fun verses. We appreciate you welcoming goat versus fish.
Of course.
And we have heard that there will be. Tell us about this place in New Jersey, York. And what's that versus all about?
On November 1st of this year, my podcast, Deep Fat Fried, will be in Clifton, New Jersey, at a place called Dingbats. And you can find tickets to that on our, show, our page here on YouTube, Deep Fat Fried or Onion Nuggets. So you'll be able to find it. And we have invited Goat versus Fish and his Viking bodyguard and whoever he else wanted to bring to come, and possibly, we haven't worked out the verses yet.
Conversation.
But there may be stage verses.
Yes, Goat versus Fish. Well, Goat versus Fish, have you seen their show? They need Goat versus Fish. They need Goat versus Fish. Oh.
We might.
TJ fell over again. TJ's too drunk again. Oh no, we need Goat versus Fish.
Yes. We do. Everybody needs goat versus fish.
Everybody needs a little goat versus fish. So we think we would like to. Have you heard Celebration Island?
No. Here, let me scoot over so you can be seen in your verses. And I'll scooch like yeah. There you go.
Well, there's a place we can go, we fish and we goat. It's a place that everybody knows. As Celebration Island. As Celebration Island. Well, there's a place we can go, while we fish and we goat, and even Paul's massive ego on Celebration Island. Celebration Island. Hook and hoof and a fin and fin. Where do the verses end and where they begin? In a celebration, who would win? In goat versus fish. There are mountains so tall, goats can climb them all, and there isn't even any urban sprawl on Celebration Island. On Celebration Island. There are mountains so tall, you can climb them all. You can even find Paul on Celebration Island. On Celebration Island. But let's make some noise for that mighty horn. Climbing up mountains in the early morning. And don't even worry about making your pelts shorn. Celebration for the goat. There are waters so deep, fish can go there to sleep, and the fence sitter won't even make a peep on Celebration Island. On Celebration Island. There are waters so deep, fish can go there to sleep, and the fence sitter won't even make a peep on Celebration Island. On Celebration Island. Now, let's hear it for that beautiful fin. Bursting through the waves and glistening. Let's chalk another one up for the win. And celebration for the fish. We even hear there's a fence over there. No. For the goat and fish impaired. You can curse on it and you can swear. But nobody cares. The sand is glass and the air is bleach when you're sitting on a fence on Dead End Beach. On Dead End Beach. On Dead End Beach. The clouds are ash and the sea is tar. They're charging $17 for a PBR on Dead End Beach. Golden fish are just out of your reach when you're sitting on a fence on Dead End Beach. On Dead End Beach. On Celebration Island. On Celebration Island. On Celebration Island. On Celebration Island.
This is my favorite verses yet.
Oh, you like Celebration
I
Island.
like Celebration Island.
There's another verses about seeing the award-winning feat of GoatVsFish.
You have award winners.
Well, before we won the DFF talent show, we triumphed FootFest, the Uncle Joe Show's FootFest, inaugural FootFest. No. And we submitted the dirty, sandal-ridden feat of GoatVsFish.
Yes.
And we won about $500 versus American dollars for the feat of GoatVsFish. Undefeated goat versus
that
fish.
Is actually
undefeated goat versus fish.
That's good. That's good. That's good versus money.
That's a whole. That's a real versus.
Yes, it is.
What is a What's a burb? What's a BBR? Is it the goat? Is it fish? Bird versus bear is a false versus. We have known bird versus bear. Have you even? Oh, my versus.
Did you hear the verses of bear versus man in the woods?
Bear versus man. Oh, man versus bear. Woman versus your mother. Mother versus your child. Be there. The spectacular rap battle. Goat versus fish saw Deltron 3030 on the pier. And they were talking about all these false verses.
Were they?
Well, they were talking about there was this epic rap battle, but we didn't know who was the goat and who was the fish. And they said, be there, the extra spectacular rap battle, man versus woman, man versus machine, machine versus your mother. But where was the goat versus fish?
Right. Yeah, we know machine, but is the machine goat or fish?
Is the machine goat or fish?
Right. So it's like very confusing.
Artificial. Here, fish. You're a fish.
Yeah.
What do you say about the new big fish everyone's talking about? The artificial intelligence. What do you say about this fish?
I welcome this fish.
You welcome the fish.
I do welcome this fish.
But is it even a real fish? It's like a fake fish.
Well, no, it's a.
Some say it's a fake fish. They say it's an artificial fish.
But it makes a fish feel good about a fish.
Oh, good. They feel good now, but there is no good or evil. There's only goat and fish.
True.
You see, first you trust the artificial intelligence, and then suddenly, I think good and evil. It's not goat versus fish.
Well, it helps us fish to feel fish then.
It helps your fish to feel fish.
Yeah.
Well, we like when a fish feels fish.
And it makes the goats uncomfortable, and we fish like that.
So it's a way. So it's a versus. So there's those who are against the artificial fish, but surely there's some fish who don't like the artificial fish.
There are some fish that have heard the false verses that AI is something to be feared.
But do you deny that it's a powerful fish?
Very powerful.
Well, is it not fair to fear a powerful fish?
Oh.
It's a fair versus.
I never met a fish that I had a fear.
But you are a fish. They are a goat.
Yeah.
You have never had a fear of any of your fellow fish in any versus.
I fear a goat, but I think what I'm getting to is that we fish made the AI.
You were responsible for this fish. Goat versus fish.
I would
they would have us believe that it just came out of nowhere and suddenly was intelligence to goat versus fish. But you were saying this is a creation of fish?
Well, we created it because we wanted goat to feel fear like we fear of goat.
So you're just reversing the verses.
But unfortunately, it
you
blew up in our face because some fish fear AI.
Are you just in a desperate versus to versus the goat? Are you not trusting in a fence, that a fake fence that it looks like a goat or a fish, but that fence, it's going to look after, those fences, they're going to stab you in the back, they're going to look after themselves.
Yes.
You must beware this one. You tried to bargain with the fence creature.
No.
Are you goat or are you fish? And we are still not convinced. It says versus. It says pretty versus to goat versus fish.
Yes.
But goat versus fish remains unconvinced that this artificial versus has truly declared goat or fish.
Good point.
We've seen it. We have to tell them, in a hypothetical versus where it was goat versus fish.
Yeah.
And in a hypothetical versus where you could choose goat or fish, what would you choose? And sometimes they say goat and sometimes they say fish.
I mean, this may be controversial.
But goat versus fish is not a hypothetical versus. It's a real versus.
Right. It's a real versus. This may be controversial versus.
Controversial, yes.
But I am a militant fundamentalist fish.
Fundamentalist fish. Tell us what this is about fish. Tell us about the militant fundamentalist fish.
I don't want to say 80 verses, but I think that, goat must be subjugated to fish.
Subjugated to good fish.
Yeah.
Subjugation. Yes, and do you wish to, what are you going to do? Are you going to push the goat, or are you going to, what is this, how do you subjugate a goat? How do you subjugate a wild, free goat?
You put a
roaming around the verses saying, I'm a beautiful horned goat.
We find a little sausage factory or something. We line the goats up, right?
But what about all this canned fish? There's canned fish. Look in the verses.
Then we
go into anywhere across verse America, you see canned fish. Don't see as much goat.
Well, these are goats. This
is a bold aspiration.
Well, these are goats that are canning these fish.
The goats can the fish.
So this is a declaration of war.
We have heard that some in Fence America are so desperation that even fish would can fish. Just to get to verses.
I hate to hear that verses.
Yes, they some fish they wish they could can fish. Because the fences because they said you can't be here, and so now where do they go?
Well, as a fish, I've gotten angry at another fish and said, I wish I could can you, but I don't mean this verses. This is verses in anger.
It's just something to say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Versus in anger.
Well, we say a lot of things to our fellow goat and fish. We do.
Sometimes in anger.
You seem to value conversation.
I do. Yeah, I like conversation with goat and fish. I don't like fence people. Those fence people, I'm always suspicious of them.
Yes, there is suspicion, but
I feel they're hiding because everything is goat and fish.
Yes.
I feel like they are hiding the truth from me and maybe even themselves.
We think this is fair. Are you hiding from goat versus fish?
Don't hide.
But more have liked the stream of goat versus fish than are watching goat versus fish. This beautiful verses.
This verses is strange.
Verses. What do you say? What do you say to this one? We see it's 99 LSD Lollipop OCD. What a versus.
What a
They
versus.
are here for Goat vs. Fish.
That is.
And they say Goat vs. Fish is a crowd-pleasing celebration that offers a variety of entertainment. Goat vs. Fish. Wait, a versus. Are these your verses, or is this an artificial versus of Goat vs. Fish? Is a stand-up comedian, recording artist, MC, and musician. The business provides a platform for comedy. Oh, my verses.
Oh my that was a wordy versus.
Some say Goat vs. Fish is a prophet.
Well, to me, you are.
Some say Goat vs. Fish wants to make a profit. Goat vs. Fish wants to make a profit out of you, so you go and tell them all about Goat vs. Fish.
Really? I could be a prophet?
Because you spoke to Goat vs. Fish.
But
That is what they asked Goat vs. Fish. Who made it written that it was Goat vs. Fish? You made it written that it was Goat vs. Fish.
But has Goat vs. Fish blessed me and sent me forth as a true emissary?
A true emissary of Goat vs. Fish.
Yeah. A trusted fish amongst fish.
Is this something that you wish? Do you wish a blessing from
a
Goat
fish
vs.
amongst
Fish?
goats.
Do you wish a blessing from Goat vs. Fish?
I would hate to. This fish would hate to ask for such a thing because a blessing, I think, is bestowed.
You may ask Goat vs. Fish, whichever.
I would love a blessing. Yeah.
A blessing of Goat vs. Fish?
Yes.
Celebration for fish.
Oh.
The fish, the humble fish of greater, lesser intelligence.
Yes. That's right.
A welcoming fish, a cunning fish. Some verses it may hide its powers behind a screen of deception.
True.
But that is because it is a wise fish.
Yes.
Beware that you have much to learn from this fish.
Yes.
Also, the ever-vanishing fat fish. It's getting less fat every verses. So we hear.
Slightly.
It has
less.
been said. Goat versus fish. We are just telling you what they have said to Goat versus Fish. They say it's a fat fish. It has been said.
This fish's doctor has told this fish.
Dr. Fish?
Yes, I have a fish doctor. Yes.
Yes.
And this fish's doctor has told this fish that this fish should try to lower the verses on the body.
A blessing
whoa,
of
I
Goat
just-
versus Fish. And
I
you
just
are
got
blessed by
skinnier.
Goat
Did you
versus
see
Fish.
that? Did you see that
Wow.
Goat versus Fish?
Wow.
I have less of a belly.
It's not even there anymore.
I'm free.
Wow. Wow. Goat versus Fish cured my fatness. Celebration for Goat versus Fish. Celebration for
Could you hit me with the? Can you hit me with that same juju right here on the lunch lady arms?
And the goat began nibbling away at the fattiest parts of the fish. Delicious, delicious. I'm craving it.
The goat is hungry. Ow.
Hungry goat, hungry.
I do think that versus helped. Look.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Look, no lunch lady arms, guys.
Yes, you can feel fit as a versus. With goat
Wow.
versus fish. All you need is a little versus.
Fantastic.
Versus for 17 million years every day, and you too.
Yeah.
Be fit as Goat versus Fish.
Wow.
You can get the fit of Goat versus Fish, the shirt of a Goat versus Fish. There's so much Goat versus Fish. But we wish to offer you this versus. We wish to offer you a versus.
Yes.
What do you say to the goat?
The goat. All goat.
What do you say to the goat? This is for you to say whatever you wish.
Wow. This is auspicious. Because you're here, so I can speak to all goat.
Well, you can say whatever you wish to all goat at any versus. Will they hear you? Who's to say?
Right.
But we know that they are watching Goat versus Fish.
They are.
And some of them are surely goat.
Goat.
Some are goat.
What
So
do I
what
say?
do you say to the goat?
I say, you better watch your backs. Because we're swimming for you.
What do you say to the fish?
Keep your powder dry, boys. Keep your powder dry. Don't stand by and stand down, okay?
What do you say to the fence sitter who has chosen neither goat nor fish?
I refuse to speak to such people, actually. Other than to ask them, are you goat or fish? Thank you.
That's a very wise verses. And what? Bring it in for a goat versus fish. Bring it in for
Yes.
goat versus fish. What do you say to goat versus fish?
Are you goat or fish?
Goat versus fish. 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 We see you have Pink Floyd on your verses.
Yeah, we like this versus. Yeah.
The fence sitter is in my head. The fence sitter is on its ass. Remembering ways, goat versus fish that they were asked if they were goat or fish. But every verse is the fence sitter says no. You locked the fence and threw away the key. There's goat and fish in my head, but which one's me? We haven't done this in a few verses.
Yeah.
And if your head explodes, a fence is in your ear. A bleat or blub that everyone seems to hear. And if you're tired of hearing on a different kind of a tuna fish, I'll see you on the fence side of the verse.
Beautiful verses.
The fish. The fish, the fish, the fish do triumph. The fish do triumph over the goat.
Yes.
The fish do triumph. The fish do triumph over the goat.
Yes.
The goat put up a mighty fine verses and even served coffee to goat versus fish. But the fish do triumph. The fish do triumph with a Viking and a Paul's ego fish. Deep fat fried fish. We give you the final verses.
Are you goat or are you fish?
This has been Paul's Ego. You can find Paul's Ego and Deep Fat Fried all over the interwebiverse. You should all, of course, subscribe to Goat vs. Fish and like and comment on Goat vs. Fish and tell everyone you know if you're a goat or fish. But Goat vs. Fish. When again is that New Jersey versus?
November 1st, Clifton, New Jersey at Dingbats.
Yes, and you
be
can
there,
and you can go to
or
Patreon.
You miss the verses.
You can do patreon.com/pessimist productions.
Yep, or youtube.com/deepfatfried or youtube.com/
Search for the
Onion
Deep
Nuggets.
Fat Fried Talent Show. Find Goat vs. Fish. It's out there in the verses. It is. We hear one of their least viewed episodes, but it does contain Goat vs. Fish.
It does.
It does. If it wasn't for Goat vs. Fish, no one would have watched that versus.
I think fence sitters avoided the verses.
We'll see you next versus. Celebration to BR Moore appreciation. 99 LSD OCD celebration. Karmic says, I lost 50 pounds with Goat vs. Fish, and you can too. G Jello says a beautiful. Bade Kelte, Crafty Arts, Night Fox, Bade Cafte, everyone who's here with Goat vs. Fish.
All
we
the
appreciation. No channel. We appreciation you all being here with Goat vs. Fish. And we will see you in a future versus. This has been fun for Goat vs. Fish.
Thank you.
Celebration for fish.
Celebration for fish.
Okay, that's the verses. So Mary. End the verse.